Self-improvement is supposed to make your life better. That's what they told you. Work harder, stay consistent, wake up early, and eventually, everything will fall into place. But here's the truth. Nobody says out loud, self-improvement doesn't make your life easier. It makes it harder. Not in a dramatic way, but in a quiet, constant pressure that most people are not prepared for. Because the moment you decide to improve, you are no longer allowed to stay the same. And that's uncomfortable. And most people quit. The moment they realize that, not because they're weak, but because they were never told what this journey actually feels like. Chapter 1. The First Illusion. He starts like everyone else, motivated, focused, ready to change. He watches the videos, reads the quotes, builds the plan. For the first time in a long time, he feels in control. There's energy in his chest, a sense of direction. He believes he's finally becoming someone different. And for a moment, everything feels possible. He imagines a better version of himself, more disciplined, more focused, more respected. But what he doesn't realize is that he's only experiencing the easiest part, the illusion. Because in the beginning, self-improvement feels good, it feels exciting, it feels like progress, even when nothing has actually changed yet. You haven't faced resistance yet. You haven't tested your discipline. You haven't confronted your limits. You're still imagining the future, not building it. And that's why most people fall in love with this phase. Because it requires nothing. No sacrifice, no discomfort, no real effort, just intention, just belief, just a vision of who you could be. But eventually, reality arrives. And when it does, everything changes. Chapter 2. When motivation dies. It doesn't happen dramatically. There's no big moment, no clear breaking point. It fades, slowly, quietly, almost unnoticed. You wake up one day, and the excitement is gone. The routine feels heavy. The work feels harder. The results aren't coming fast enough. And suddenly, you're not driven anymore. You're tired, mentally, emotionally, physically. This is where most people stop, not because they failed, but because the feeling disappeared, and they never learned how to continue without it. They were taught to chase motivation, not to build discipline, but the truth is, motivation was never meant to last. It's temporary, unstable, unreliable. It comes and goes, like a wave. And if your progress depends on it, you will always be inconsistent, because you will only act when you feel like it. And feelings change. Marcus Aurelius never relied on feeling ready, because he understood something simple. If action depends on emotion, you are not in control. And if you're not in control, then your life is being controlled by something else. Chapter 3. The Invisible Resistance. Now the real battle begins. Not outside, inside. You try to stay consistent, but something keeps pulling you back. You sit down to work, and suddenly you feel the urge to check your phone. You plan to wake up early, but your body feels heavier than ever. You want to improve, but you keep choosing comfort. And the worst part, you don't understand why. You start questioning yourself. Why am I like this? Why can't I stay consistent? Why do I keep failing? This is the invisible resistance, your mind protecting your current identity, because change is a threat to your habits, to your patterns, to who you've been for years. Your brain is not designed to make you successful. It's designed to keep you safe. And safe means familiar, even if that familiarity is holding you back. And so your brain fights back, not with force, but with subtlety. Excuses, delays, rational thoughts that feel logical, but slowly pull you away from growth. Seneca warned that the greatest obstacle is not the world, but the self. Chapter 4. The Comfort Trap. Comfort is not the reward, it's the enemy. And the dangerous part? It doesn't look like an enemy. It feels like relief. Modern life has made this worse. Everything is easy. Instant entertainment, instant pleasure, instant escape. You don't have to struggle anymore to feel good. and your brain. Gets addicted, not to success, but to comfort, because comfort requires nothing, no effort, no struggle, no growth, just consumption, just distraction. Self-improvement demands the opposite: effort, pain, discipline, patience. And this creates conflict every single day between what feels good and what builds you. Most people lose this battle, not once, but repeatedly, until comfort becomes their default and discipline becomes something they try, but never become. Chapter 5. Why you keep restarting. You've tried before, more than once. You started strong, then stopped, then started again, then stopped again, and each time, you told yourself, this time will be different. But it wasn't, because you made one mistake. You relied on intensity instead of consistency. You tried to change everything at once: new habits, new routines, new identity, all at the same time. And for a few days, it worked. You felt powerful, in control, disciplined. But then, you burned out. And when you stopped, you didn't just stop the habits. You lost momentum, you lost belief, and you returned to your old self. Self-improvement is not built on bursts of effort. It's built on repetition. Slow, uncomfortable, unexciting repetition. The kind that doesn't feel like progress, but is. And that's why it's so difficult, because it's boring. And people don't want boring. They want fast results, fast change, fast success. But reality doesn't work like that, and neither does discipline. Chapter 6. The Identity Problem. Here's the brutal truth. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your identity. If you still see yourself as inconsistent, you will act that way. If you believe you lack discipline, you will prove it again and again, because your actions always align with who you believe you are, not who you want to be. This is why most people fail, not because they don't know what to do, but because they haven't changed who they are. They try to force new actions with an old identity, and that never lasts. Epictetus taught that true change begins within, not in action, but in perception, in identity, in the quiet decision that says, "This is who I am now." And once that decision becomes real, your actions follow naturally. Chapter 7. The Real Transformation. Real self-improvement is not exciting. It's quiet, repetitive, uncomfortable. It's waking up when you don't want to, working when you don't feel like it, continuing when nothing is happening, when there are no results, no recognition, no immediate reward, and doing it anyway, and doing it again, and again, and again, until it becomes automatic, until you no longer question it, until discipline becomes your default. This is where transformation happens, not in motivation, not in inspiration, but in repetition, in identity, in the slow death of your old self, and the creation of someone new, someone consistent, someone focused, someone who does what must be done, without negotiation, without excuses, without waiting to feel ready. Because at that point, you don't need motivation anymore. You've become the person who acts anyway.